Hi guys, welcome to episode 20. We're at episode 20 already of One Coin One Play. We are going to have a look at Capcom versus SNK 2 today, which is one of my favourite beat 'em ups. I know it's a bit broke, I know it's not the most balanced game, and I know it has its issues, but this game is just so much fun to play. Yes, I'm a C-Group scrub. So for example, the reason that I like this game so much above many other fighters, and arguably some of the other fighters are a lot better, but the reason that I like this is because after Street Fighter 2 was released and it was played and it kind of took over all our lives for a period of time, you know, we grew up. We stopped gaming so much, we started going out. I guess, you know, you could say it was the party time in our lives. So didn't play for a few years, and I think like in my early 20s I had a business, I had a video game shop, you know, it's stuff that I always knew something about. So we had a video game shop open, and at that time, you know, it was the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox era and the GameCube era. So we're all in the shop one day, a bunch of us guys, and somehow Street Fighter came up to discussion, and you know, everyone started saying that, you know, I'm the best at Street Fighter. We're like, no, I'm the best at Street Fighter. So we said, okay, let's put this to the test. You know, I am the best. Sorry, I'm trying to play at the same time. So we said, okay, no. So one guy said to me, one of my employees said to me, no, I was the best. Another guy that was in the shop said, no, I'm simply the best. Then, so the only way we could put it to the test was we said, okay, let's play Street Fighter. And I still remember the only Street Fighter game we had in stock in the shop was Capcom versus SNK 2 for the PlayStation 2 and possibly for the Xbox as well. But we definitely had it for the PlayStation 2. So there we were. You know, never really played this game too much. Played it on the Dreamcast originally, but you know, didn't really pay too much attention to it. Like I said, it was the clubbing days, so you know, it's what we did. We weren't playing too many games. So we booted up Capcom vs SK2 and we played. You know, there was a few of us. I'm just trying to think how many. I think there was roughly maybe 5 or 6 of us, and then a circle kind of grew in the shop. We ended up doing tournaments in the game. So we were playing on the PlayStation 2 using the PlayStation 2 pad, and that's kind of like how we got back into fighting games. So we started playing this. It started getting very, very competitive, and I can't remember what my original team was. It was probably like Blanka was in it for sure, because I mean, this is without knowing the tier list or anything. You know, Blanka was top, but I've always liked Blanka. You know, back from Street Fighter 2 days. So Blanka was in the team. Got very, very competitive. We started playing it, and this is how the kind of love for this game grew. Not because we chose it out of everything that was available, just because it was the only Street Fighter game we had inside our store at that given time. So yeah, so it means a lot. I mean, this was in the arcade, but it wasn't competitively played here in the arcade. There was one arcade, Namco World. Where was it? Near the London Eye. I forget what the name of the area is called. Is it Waterloo, but it's in Westminster anyway. And we took a trip one day to go and play it in the arcade down there, and only one of the sticks was working, so you could actually only play it one player. We spoke to the technician who said he couldn't fix it, so that was that. But yeah, we did play this competitively a lot, and I think out of our social circle in the shop, at least, myself and one other guy started. You know, we were the top of our circle. It was always between me and this other guy, and the other guys were just, I guess, you know, around playing, having fun, but winning the odd game, but not being in that top league. So anyway, we thought we were really good. I mean, you know, we thought, yeah, we're amazing, and we knew nothing about, like, you know, there was like a whole pro circuit. At the time in the UK, there was a tournament called Absolution, I think, and you know, Daigo was here, and so Absolution was either taking place or well, it happened kind of around that area, and we knew nothing of this. But this version of One Coin Play is going to have a big long story in it, because CVS2 there is a lot of story that I can't tell, and I'm sorry if it sounds like my conversation isn't fluid. Maybe I should concentrate less on the game and actually concentrate on the story. So what happened? We had a Street Fighter arcade machine, Street Fighter 2 World Warrior arcade machine in the store. Now, one guy was walking past. Now, bear in mind, this guy is one of my best friends now. You know, we're in contact nearly every day. We visit each other as frequently as we can. But he came into the shop and he played the Street Fighter 2 game, and he was very good at it. Very, very good at it. So what happened? He saw that we were playing Capcom vs SNK 2 at the counter at the shop, which was located at the back of the shop. So this guy said, "Oh, I play Capcom vs SNK 2." And we were like, "Okay, kid, come play us." And my friend reminds me of this story because he said, "I didn't play him initially. I sent one of my friends to play him." So it was like a kung fu movie where I sent the henchman out to play him and to test him out first. And I can't remember who won. That guy may have won. But at the same time, he was saying that I don't play on a pad. I can only play on stick. We were like, yeah, whatever, you know. We didn't really know or care too much about that stuff at that moment in time. Okay, Sakura's out. So then I played him and I beat him. And this guy, you know, I got Sakura from him basically. So this guy, I played him and he lost, and you know, it wasn't like he lost badly or badly. And then he said to me that, you know, he plays on stick, and I was like, yeah, whatever, kid, you know, whenever you're ready, come here, I'll fight you. So anyway, let's fast forward to a day or two. This guy actually turns up with an arcade stick. Now, I wasn't trying to, you know, I wasn't trying to dismiss him or anything. I actually had work to do in the shop. We had like a load of new releases in. We had a lot of what we considered, you know, like cheap offers come in. So it was difficult to play him, and I said, look, I won't be able to play you today. And the guy looked kind of disappointed, and I thought, I don't want to be an idiot. So anyway, I played him. He pulled out the arcade stick. He picked Sakura, Vice, and Sagat. Sagat was his anchor at ratio 2, Sakura and Vice were ratio 1. And what happened after that, man? I got battered. I mean, like, this wasn't just a beating. Sakura OCV'd me. I didn't even know this stuff that you could do. This guy showed me. I was like, wow, like, how do you even play the game like this? Did not know anything. Just blew me away. So I kind of spoke to the guy. I think we exchanged numbers. I said, look, stay in contact. Let's play. And literally, you know, as I kind of became friends with a guy, this game was available in the original Xbox at that time, actually, on Xbox Live. He told me, look, you should play on Xbox Live, which we did. We played on Xbox Live. We played local as well. So this guy was very, very good. I can't name this guy because he doesn't like to be named. So I respect that for him. Yeah, we became friends. You know, he told me about Diago, he told me about Ryan Hart, told me about all the arcades and, you know, all this scene, and I was like, wow, like, you know, this is amazing. Right? I really didn't know it. It kind of gave me the incentive to kind of practice up on games and get a little bit better, you know. So we started training, we started playing, and our game leveled up because the competition we were exposed to after that was leveled up as well. So this guy, like I said, was very, very good at you know, the old Street Fighters, all the way from you know, Street Fighter 2 all the way to Super Street Fighter 2, and to this day, you know, me and him still play Super Turbo. You know, I use my old Sagat against him. He uses Ryu. He played old Ryu for quite a long time, and then moved over to new Ryu, which he says he moved over recently, but he's been playing the new Ryu for at least 5 years. Yeah, so he kind of taught me about that. So I started getting arcades a lot more then. Now I'll kind of continue this story with Third Strike, because this story goes into kind of Third Strike arcade. Yeah, this story kind of progresses into Third Strike and how I started playing Third Strike. So maybe the next one play I'll do will be in regards to Third Strike, because it's an interesting story about how I started playing Third Strike in the arcade and how I got into that game. talking of Third Strike, we've got the twins here. But yeah, that's how it was. So in a nutshell, Capcom versus SNK 2 was the Street Fighter game that we started to play after we stopped playing Street Fighter, which was which was fun. Computer always blocks on wake up on this in this game. Yeah, so in a nutshell, CVS2 got us back into Street Fighter, got us playing competitively with our friends, and from that we started playing a lot more stuff because around the time we started playing this, Street Fighter Hyper Anniversary 15th edition came out, and we were playing that. Then there was SNK versus Capcom. That came out, which wasn't a great game, but we played that. So we started doing beat 'em ups, and what used to happen was every Saturday after I finished work at the shop, we used to go around to one of our friends' house that lived around the corner from the shop. He had a big house. He had her garage as part of his house. His father's garage. Let's play Blanka. So his father's garage, he had a big room on top of it, so we all used to go there and play on a Saturday night and get food, and it was fun times, it was fun times. And that's more of why I wanted to feature this in 1.1 play, just literally to tell that story. Don't want to make it sound like I run out of let's do. Okay, another very interesting story about this. So a lot of people that play Capcom versus SNK 2. So if you're not a casual games player, you may not know this if you're a casual games player. If you've been into fighting games on the fighting game scene, or you know about the players and the games and the things that happen, and some of the stuff that happens in there. So what happened was Capcom vs SNK 2 had a glitch in it called roll cancelling, which when you do a roll, you get invincibility properties that lets you go through projectiles and any moves, with the exception of grabs. Grabs, you can get grabbed out of the roll. But what you can do is you can cancel the roll within the first 2 frames, if I remember correctly. So with a special move. So what you could do is like Blanka's cannibal roll. If I can roll cancel that. Obviously, I've never really been able to do it, to be honest. At least not consistently. So, if you roll cancel Blanka's cannonball roll, for example, he'll be able to go through projectiles. So, if he goes through projectiles, he obviously gets invincibility for that move. So it completely changes the dynamics of the game. Now I remember reading an article about this, and I hope my memory serves me correct. If it doesn't, please let me know in the comments, because I don't want to spread misinformation about this story. But I found the story very, very interesting. So very, very interesting. So what happened was there was a tournament arranged, or there was a play where a whole bunch of American players went to Japan to take on the Japanese players. And one of the games they played them at was this game, CVS2. Bear in mind, the Japanese had found out about roll cancelling, but they never ever. The Americans didn't know about it then. So Americans knew nothing of this roll cancelling, and in a nutshell, what happened? The Americans went there, and they don't know what hit them, because the Japs destroyed them, to say the least. To say the very, very least, the Japs destroyed them, because they had roll cancelling. So imagine you've gone to another country, let's say you're playing Blanka, and your cannonball rolls are gonna attack. You can counter cannonball rolls with your character. Sorry, you're playing against Blanka now. Blanka's stopped here, so you're playing against Blanka. Like for example, like Sakura can block the cannonball rolls, and she can always do a hard kick against it. So next thing, they're doing cannonball rolls through your projectiles, or like Vice is doing like a dash and going through your projectiles. It completely changed the dynamics of the games, and to say they got absolutely, they got wiped out, they got destroyed. The American team got destroyed, and it was almost like an ambush, like a setup. And obviously then after that, from what I understand, role cancelling then left Japan. But I thought it was very interesting how obviously the news never reached America, and the Japanese used it to their advantage. But yeah, very interesting. So this friend of mine that I mentioned, the Capcom versus SNK 2 guys, just recently I changed him on my phone books. It was always first name CVS2, last name. He actually brought role cancelling to the UK. It wasn't known before that, and he used it at what used to be the offline tournaments for this game, which used to be on a Dreamcast and not in an arcade. And he upset a lot of people with it. You know, but it was a very skilled guy. He actually got himself a repetitive strain injury, playing a lot of CVS2 and doing role cancelling. So, okay, I'm off fighting. Okay. I find it difficult to do the short, crouching short, standing light kick, or standing short into the Dragon Punch. Find it easier to do the super. I don't know if that's bad habits just picked up over the years. Yeah, so yeah, this game's good. The only negative thing about this game, and I'll say, is the thing that I don't like about it. I'm not a big fan generally of the backgrounds, because I preferred the backgrounds in Capcom versus SNK 1. You know, they kind of fitted with it. They started doing 3D backgrounds where, you know, we're not too fussed about that. I actually preferred how the 2D stuff looked. Yeah, got my combo. Love that one. Actually pulled that off at a tournament one day, at a Neo Empire tournament years and years ago. You know, big shout out to the Neo Empire crew. You know, you guys know who you are. Thanks for you know, all the UK stuff you done back in the day. I think maybe the first tournament I did go to was actually a Neo Empire tournament. This might be the longest 1.1 play ever. I don't know what the default difficulty is. Okay, are we on the boss yet? I've kind of run out of stuff to talk about with this game. I know this game was big in America. It was very big. It had a lot of scene, and I remember actually, again, I'll go back to my friend that kind of introduced me to the competitive scene and blew me up on this game. He actually had the Evo DVDs, so this is literally when the internet was something new. It was coming in, and he had all the Evo DVDs. I remember borrowing them from him and seeing like Justin Wong, Ricky Ortiz, Daigo, Margo, all these guys play, man. And I remember out of all those players, Margo was my favourite. You know, he used K groove, so respect to all the guys that used a non-roll groove, since, you know, the roll grooves were the top tier grooves because of roll cancelling. So we really enjoyed watching Margo's play. And you know what, like, as skilled as Justin Wong is, you know, Justin Wong was young back then when we were watching these videos, and when I say these guys did not drop a combo, like, you know, Justin Wong even now is a very skilled player, but I mean, he says it himself. You know, if you watch his stuff, Justin Wong is always, you know, or you see him like drop an occasional combo or not have the sharpness that he did, and that's obviously something that comes with. Yeah, level 1 supers in this game aren't that great. Yeah, that's something that when you get older, your reactions slow down. But Justin Wong was young. He was like crazy good at this, man. Obviously, Daigo was good, and I think Bats has always kind of been the best player at, you know, this game. Oh, that's cool, yeah, the dodge mechanic. Also, another interesting thing in this game was there was a whole scene of us that played this on the original Xbox Online. So we used to go to the Shora Yuken forums and chat then. And I remember like having a meetup. I won't go into people's names on there, like the users or anything, but I think that's how UK guys met. Okay, couldn't quite do the cancel. So yeah, we met up. We went around each other's house. I still remember one of the guys actually picked me up, and we went. I'm from London, and we drove out of London. It was like maybe an hour and a half to 2 hour drive. Took me there, went around to these other guys, met them, and played CVS2. And I think that was like my transition from joypad to stick. I started playing on stick because I wanted to play in the arcade. We started playing again on joypad, but you go in the arcade and you can't play. So I wanted to play on stick, and I started playing on stick, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, there was a lot around this game in kind of getting me into fighting games, at least to the next level, and playing competitively. Now I'm not saying I was ever the greatest. I wasn't, but by the standards I give myself, I think I was actually rubbish compared to everyone else that was out there. But man, I had a great time, and I know that's what all losers say, but I honestly did. I had a good time. I made a lot of friends. It's quite amazing because most of my friends now are actually people that I kind of met online and at Street Fighter events over those years. Those are the guys I'm mainly associated with. Those were the guys that were, that were at my wedding. Whose children are now playing with my children. So fighting games definitely gave us a lot. But you know what, guys, we'll end that there. I've actually finished a 1.1 play, so props to me. If you do like this stuff, consider subscribing. I know I've not been doing a lot of my retro stuff recently. I've recently acquired a 1X player, which I've been doing a lot of stuff on, but I'm gonna sell it. I've just got too much stuff to play, and I've ordered the Steam Deck as well, so that's currently listed on eBay. So as much as I like it, once that thing goes, I think it'll do me a favour, because I can kind of go back to playing some stuff like even Monster Hunter Stories 2 on my Switch. So like always, guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, PCN out.